Change the balls, so that's the setup for the moment, right? 5 balls, and you always start here, and you go press it. Stay with it, and here's one. You mix a bit. Full ceremony, you mix. Take one, open it. There's a finish behind here, so you can just go from there to there, and then we can choose the next guy.
Bonjour et bienvenue au tirage de sort de la Fédération internationale de basketball en fauteuil roulant pour les Championnats du monde 2026. Pour ceux et celles qui veulent écouter dans la langue de leur choix, on vous invite de scanner le code QR. Today's presentation is going to be handled mainly in English, so for anybody who would like to listen in, we invite you to scan the QR code. Welcome to the draw of the 2026 Iwbf Wheelchair Basketball World Championships. We are delighted to welcome everyone to Ottawa, Canada, which is located on the unceded ancestral lands of the Algonquin Anishinaabe peoples. Nous apprécions la collaboration que nous avons avec le peuple algonquin Anishinaabe et nous offrons notre respect sincère pour le territoire sur lequel nous nous rassemblons cet après-midi. Je me présente. My name is Dina Bellaroche, and I will be your MC for this outstanding event and global gathering. Before we begin the draw, I'd like to share a little information about the Iwbf Wheelchair Basketball World Championship. These championships will be the largest team parasport event in the world, bringing together 28 national teams from across the globe, 12 women's and 16 men's teams, supported by over 350 dedicated volunteers and over 600 coaches, technical officials, managers, and mission staff. Over the 11 days of competition, 98 games will take place at the TD Place and Carleton University. To give you some perspective on the magnitude of this incredible event, the FIFA World Cup has 104 games, taking place over 6 weeks and in multiple cities and 3 countries. So our event is in good company. This event marks the first time Canada will be hosting both the men's and women's wheelchair basketball world championships together. This will be a historic milestone for Canadian sport and global parasport movement. We are delighted to be showcasing our commitment to accessible and inclusive sport through uniting our global communities. Today, we will be starting with the women's draw, and after a short break, we'll move to the men's. Félicitations et bonne chance à toutes les équipes. Congratulations and good luck to all the qualified teams. It's now my sincere pleasure to introduce Kathy Newman, President of the Board of Wheelchair Basketball Canada and Chair of the Steering Committee of the World Championships, to share a few words. Kathy, à toi la parole.
Well, to say I'm excited is a massive understatement. This is a big day. So thank you, Dina, and good afternoon, everyone. It is my absolute pleasure, on behalf of Wheelchair Basketball Canada, to extend a warm welcome to all of you joining us today, both in person and virtually, for the official draw of the 2026 International Wheelchair Basketball Federation's Men's and Women's World Championships. Woohoo! I would especially like to acknowledge our distinguished guests who have joined us today. MPP George Drews, Provincial Member of Parliament, Carleton, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe, City of Ottawa, Michael Crockett, President and CEO of Ottawa Tourism, and Ulf Murens, President of the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation. Wheelchair Basketball Canada is honored to host the 2026 World Championships, the single largest parasport team event in the world. We have a rich history of hosting international tournaments for over 30 years. We understand the value and the unique opportunities that events of this scale offer, which is why we've built hosting into our strategic goals within Wheelchair Basketball Canada. The championships will celebrate the extraordinary athleticism, competitiveness, and excellence of athletes with disabilities, while helping shift perceptions of disability through the power of sport. Sport also has the power to unite communities, inspire pride, and strengthen national identity. These championships will bring Canadians together around shared values of inclusion, perseverance, diversity, and excellence. And what better place to host this event than right here in the city of Ottawa? We know the teams and visitors will be warmly welcomed and will enjoy everything this beautiful city has to offer. An event like this requires strong collaboration. We are very thankful for the financial support we have received from Sport Canada, the Ontario government, and Tourism Ottawa. Please accept our heartfelt gratitude. I also want to acknowledge the many corporate partners and community supporters who have embraced this event. Hosting an event of this magnitude could simply not be possible without all of you, so thank you very much. In closing, I want to say thank you to the Westin for hosting us today. We are very grateful for your support. And finally, congratulations to all the teams from around the world who have qualified. Your hard work has brought you to this stage, and we look forward to welcoming you in Ottawa in September. Woohoo!
Merci, chère Cathy. I love the little woohoo. I'd now like to welcome Mr. Ulf Meerens, President of the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation, to come to the podium. À toi la parole, Ulf.
Merci bien. Okay, I have to repeat. Bonjour, ça va. So, Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, and wheelchair sports fans all over the world. We are live all over the world because wheelchair sports here is so interesting for people, and they want to watch our event in September. I have to say thank you on behalf of the Iwbf. I have to say thank you to all people here. They are working hard. Thank you for having the possibility to bring our main sports here to Ottawa in September, as we said before. We're expecting 28 teams, men and women, which is enormous. It's really enormous, it's hard work to do this. So I have to say thank you to all the people who are working around here. Wheelchair basketball is the main sport in the Paralympic movement. That means that out of our 4 zones, they're bringing up teams to here. I just myself, coming from Madrid, watching the repechage game, and Germany, thank you for that. And with it, Spain are qualifying. You heard about Thailand. There's a man, repechage. I don't know, I didn't see the results, but they had a large chance to come over here. It's amazing that wheelchair basketball is expanding in that way, really. We are counting together 116 members in the world. That means even in Asia, South America, wheelchair basketball and the new condition under 3x3 is expanding in that way. We are proud of this, real proud. And I'm proud of people who are working hard here. I talked to people the last day, and they are all satisfied with their work. And believe me, you are well prepared to invite the world for wheelchair basketball. Thank you again for the sponsors. Thank you again for the government and the city of Ottawa, as I heard, and thank you for all people who are engaged in this hard work. I congratulate about the great numbers of volunteers, as I heard. This will mean long days. This is more than 11 days because people are reaching before. We're expecting fans all over the world, and I think and I saw that Ottawa here is well prepared at that honor. Thank you again. Enjoy all your work. Enjoy the games. Thank you.
Dankeschön. It's now my sincere pleasure. J'ai le plaisir de présenter His Worship, the City of Ottawa Mayor, Mark Sutcliffe, to the podium. Mark.
Thank you, Dina, and good afternoon, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Je suis tellement ravi d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. Quel plaisir. Well, this is really very special for us, and I want to start by welcoming my friend and colleague George Derouz, the MPP for Carleton, the representatives of Wheelchair Basketball Canada and the International Wheelchair Basketball Association. We're very, very grateful here in Ottawa to be hosting this event. So I want to say thank you to all the partner organizations, including our friends at Ottawa Tourism and the Ottawa Sports and Entertainment Group. Thank you for all the hard work that went into bringing this event to Ottawa. I want to salute the athletes and the coaches who have worked very, very hard for many, many years to get to this point where they will be participating in this event. And I want to say thank you to all the people who have worked hard to bring this event to Ottawa. We're thrilled to be hosting it in our city. It makes me so proud to say that this September, our city will welcome the world's best wheelchair basketball players. It's very exciting. And it's worth mentioning again, I know a couple of people have mentioned it already, but this is the largest team parasport event in the world. So we're very proud to host it in Ottawa. It's the first time it's ever been held in Canada. We're going to see more than 300 athletes, 28 teams, 98 games over 11 days. Ce sera un moment incroyable pour notre ville et un nouvel exemple de ce qui fait d'Ottawa une ville sportive de premier plan. In Ottawa, we have the best fans. They're going to be very excited to see this. And our wheelchair basketball players can look forward to that. And the fans can look forward to some very fast-paced, competitive games. So to all the athletes, coaches, officials, and fans who are joining us from all over the world, we cannot wait to welcome you to Ottawa. Félicitations à toutes les personnes qui ont contribué à amener ce championnat à Ottawa. Good luck to all the teams, all the athletes, all the coaches, and once again, we look forward to hosting you in Ottawa. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Merci, Mayor Sutcliffe. Maintenant, j'ai l'honneur de présenter M. Gabriel Zangenfeind. Please join me in welcoming Gabriel Zangenfeind, the Secretary General of the Iwbf, who will explain how the draw will work. Gabriel, à toi la podium.
Thank you, Dina. Mesdames et messieurs, chers invités, pour les gens qui nous ont joints en direct, bienvenue. Ça y est, toutes les équipes, les meilleures équipes du basket en fauteuil roulant se sont qualifiées pour les championnats du monde qui auront lieu ici plus tard cette année. En un peu moins que 3 mois, Ottawa ne sera pas seulement la capitale du Canada, mais véritablement la capitale du mouvement paralympique, et toute notre communauté du basket en fauteuil roulant nous regardera ici à Ottawa. Un événement de cette magnitude ne se peut pas faire tout seul. Du coup, permettez-moi aussi de donner des remerciements. Tout d'abord, bien sûr, merci à la Fédération de basket canadien de basket en chaise roulante. Sans votre courage et la vision, on ne serait pas ici aujourd'hui. Et vous avez réussi à assembler une équipe qui est très forte et puissante. Du coup, j'aimerais bien remercier le gouvernement fédéral du Canada, la province d'Ontario, la ville de Ottawa, Ottawa Tourisme et bien sûr tous les autres partenaires qui ont fait cet événement une réalité. Merci beaucoup. Now, allow me to switch to English. It will be just slightly easier for me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's done. The best teams from around the world have qualified for the World Championships. In just a little less than 3 months, this city will not only be the capital of Canada, but the capital of global wheelchair basketball. Already today, we see the huge impact this event has for the wheelchair basketball community. We hear it and see it in every corner of the city, of the country, in social media. It's out there. So we're very proud to work with Wheelchair Basketball Canada and the team that they have assembled, most notably the federal government of Canada, the province of Ontario, the city of Ottawa, Ottawa Tourism, and of course, all the other partners. Thank you very much. Right now, 28 elite wheelchair basketball teams from around the globe are sitting at home preparing for this World Championship. But they're missing one key piece to the puzzle. They don't know yet who are going to be their opponents and what their path is going to look like if they want to become world champions. So let's get right to it and sort that missing puzzle piece. With today's draw, we'll find out the path every team has to take to be crowned champion. I will now proceed to just give you a bit of an overview in terms of how the competition format looks for the women's competition before I guide you through the draw proceedings. For the women's competition, we'll have a total of 12 women national teams competing. Those teams will be split into 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Following the group stage, those teams will advance to quarterfinals, play knockouts all the way up to the final, while teams that have been eliminated play a classification round to clarify who's placed from place 8 to 12. That's the competition format. Now let me bring you to the draw format. To determine the groups, we came up with pairings. The pairings is essentially putting teams together that cannot compete in the same group. It's a way for us to ensure that there's a geographical and competitive balance in each group. Those pairings are based on how teams performed on the qualification pathway and in their respective zones. Now you may wonder what zones are. Zones, the Iwbf zones, are essentially our competitive structures, meaning we have 4 continents: Africa, America, Asia, Oceania, and Europe. So the pairings are based on those geographical elements. To give that a bit more of context, or to make an example before I guide through the process, as a first pairing, we will have, for example, USA and Brazil. Why? USA is the current champion of the Americas zone. In the final last year, the Iwbf Americas Championship, they beat Brazil in an exciting game, who came in second. So that's number 1 and 2 of the Americas zone. They are paired and cannot be in the same group. So much for the draw logic. I would now like to share these pairings with you so all of you can see them. Pairing number 1, as just explained, from Americas, we have the champion of Americas, USA and Brazil. Pairing number 2 from Asia, Oceania zone, China, who's the current champion, paired with Japan. Pairing number 3, the current European champion, Netherlands, paired with Great Britain. Pairing number 4, this is the African Championship, and because we're not having a second team from Africa who qualified, Algeria has been paired with Australia, who's the strongest team from those countries who just qualified earlier today in Madrid. Then we have pairing number 5, Spain and Germany, and finally the pairing you're all waiting for, Canada and France. So with this being done, let me quickly walk through the procedure that we'll do in a second. You see here on the table we have 6 balls. In those balls we'll have the pairings. We'll always draw the balls from one ball before we move to the next one. The first team that is drawn from a ball goes into Group A. The second team is drawn, goes to Group B. We do that until we reach the 5th ball. And here comes something specific for us. At this stage, we will pause the draw and give Team Canada the chance to actually choose their group. Now, you may wonder, why is that happening? That is simple because traditionally and historically, the privilege to choose the group is awarded to the host nation of this fantastic event. With this logic being clear, I kindly invite Mayor Sutcliffe to join me on stage. Thank you very much. We're ready to get to business. Mayor Sutcliffe, please draw the first ball. Brazil will go to Group A. Thank you very much. Moving to the second ball from the same bowl. We do. USA will go to Group B. Thank you very much. We're moving now to the additional pairings, which is China and Japan. China will go to Group A. Japan will go to Group B. Thank you very much. Moving to the next pairings, which is the European pairings. Great Britain will go to Group A. And the Netherlands will go to Group B. Thank you very much. We're moving to the next pairing, which is Algeria and Australia. Australia will go to Group A. And Algeria will join Group B. Moving to the last pairing before we break. We have Spain, who will join Group A. And Germany joining Group B. Thank you very much. I bear you to stay a second with us. Thank you very much. As mentioned earlier, now we're breaking this draw for a second. It's the moment of truth for Canada to choose their group, their faith, and decide which path they want to take if they want to clinch a World Championship title in their home country. Before we do that, let me just recap the groups so everyone has the same information. In Group A, we do have Brazil, China, Great Britain, Australia, and Spain. In Group B, we have USA, Japan, the Netherlands, Algeria, and Germany. I send now off the Canadian delegation to elaborate, and in the meantime, I hand over to you, Dina.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're so excited to have a proud member of the women's national wheelchair basketball team with us, Puissant Lai. And so for people who don't know about you, I've had the privilege of getting to know you just before the event. Maybe tell us a little bit more about what drew you to this beautiful sport of wheelchair basketball.
Yeah, so I started first when I was about 12 years old. My parents got me into a lot of different parasports, and since then I tried wheelchair basketball. I fell in love with the intensity and all the different components of wheelchair basketball, which I thought was so exciting in the community, and I ended up sticking with it, made the national team in 2018, and since then I've been playing for the national team.
Wonderful. And you had the privilege of serving Team Canada at the Olympic Games in just a few years ago now in 2024. And so I'm curious, what are some of the experiences that you've had that you are going to repurpose for this championship?
I think as I've been on the national team for about 8 years now, I think I've come a long way. When I first started, I made the team when I was 17, and everything was super new, and I was just trying to catch up, and so overwhelmed, and also just like very admirable of like all the talent that I had the privilege to play against. So I think since then I've grown a lot more, gotten a bit better, gained a lot more experience. So I think for this championship coming up, it's super exciting, as my first tournament was at a World Championships in 2018. So to have this World Championship this year in Ottawa is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about that. We're on domestic soil. I'm imagining we have a full fan club, a puissant fan club, hashtag. So just tell us a little bit more about what that's going to be like for you, competing on domestic soil in front of family and friends.
I'm so excited for it. I haven't competed on home soil before, so it's going to be really special to have my friends and family all going to be there. And also, not only that, all of my team's friends and family, and having the support from all across Canada, I think is an experience that doesn't happen very often. So really excited to have this tournament coming up. And yeah, I think it's going to be really great and a great atmosphere and like a very memorable event.
Well, I know I'm getting shivers just being in your presence, and really excited to cheer you on when we host the games in September. So we're going to throw it back to Gabriel because we have an answer to the decision. Gabriel.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Indeed, we have a decision from Canada. Allow me to confirm on behalf of Team Canada. They have chosen to go into Group A. Thank you very much, Canada. And now the pressure is over again to you, Mr. Sutcliffe. Let's see what you draw. We have France joining Pool B. Thank you very much. Thank you. At this stage, I would like to thank Mayor Sutcliffe for the draw. Let me recap the draw ceremony for the women's competition. Group A, we have Brazil, China, Great Britain, Australia, Spain, and Canada. In Pool B, we do have USA, Japan, Netherlands, Algeria, Germany, and France. Now, not all of you here in the room are wheelchair basketball fans, but if I look at these groups, I'm seeing some fantastic matchups, so I become even more excited, which I think was the goal of this draw. I wish the teams best of luck in the competition. We look forward to welcoming you here. And now we quickly prepare for the men's draw, so please enjoy this short promotional video.
Welcome back. Re-bienvenue. It was so exciting to see the women's draw play out in real time. Now it's time to turn our attention to the men's draw. Gabrielle, let's understand how the men's draw will play out. Over to you.
Thank you. Well, I think after this video and the pure emotion of this video, without any delay, let's just jump right into it. Similar to before, I would just like to share a few words about how the competition format works before I run you through the draw procedure, which will be slightly different than the women's procedure. In terms of competition format, we have the 16 best men national teams qualified to compete here in Ottawa. Those 16 teams will be split into 4 groups of 4, with each team that plays a group advancing to the quarterfinals, the first against the fourth of the respective crossover section, the second against the third, and so on. They will play their way up in a knockout stage all the way to the final. Again, the teams that lose in the quarterfinals will proceed to play a classification round. So much for the competition format itself. I mentioned it's going to be a bit more complex, so bear with me. But the first logic that we start with is the same then for the women's. We conducted a pairing of teams based on their performance in the qualification process and how they did in their respective zonal championships. To make this a bit easier, I'll start by showing the pairings for the Iwbf Men's World Championship. In pairing 1, we do have Spain, Great Britain, Germany, and Italy, with Spain being the current champion of Europe. Pairing number 2 is the Asia-Oceania pairing. It's Australia as the current champion, paired with Japan and Iran. Now you will wonder, Brazil is not necessarily a nation in Asia or Oceania, but they have recently qualified just this morning in the repechage event, so they fill up this slot. Pairing number 3 is the pairing of African countries. Again, here in this competition, we only have 1 country from Africa who qualified, so the rest of the teams are teams that qualified either through the European Championship, which would be Turkey, and Poland and Netherlands, who have qualified this morning in the repechage event that Mr. Mehrens referred to earlier in Thailand. Pairing number 4 is the manquez pairing, USA as the current champion, Argentina, Colombia, and your host, Canada. Now, we have the pairings clear, so let's look at how the draw procedure actually works. I mentioned it's slightly different than what we've seen for the women. The reason being we have to split teams into 4 different groups. The first stage we're going to do, you see here 5 bowls on the table. In the first bowl, we took out from the pairings all the zonal championships. The reason why is we consider the zonal champions as seeded teams and they cannot compete in the same group. So in the first stage, we're going to draw from this group and allocate each zone champion into 1 group before we then come back to the initially shown pairings, meaning we go through Europe, Asia, and so on, and allocate them to the respective groups. The tricky part here now is how do we ensure that a country that is seeded is not ending up in the same team which is in their pairing. There's a quite simple logic to it. When we draw from the European pool, the first team that gets pulled out gets into the next available alphabetical group, sitting after the next seeded teams. Now I see a lot of confused faces, so let me put this into an example. Let's assume Spain, as European champion, will be drawn into Group A. We then draw from the European pairings, and the first team drawn from this pool goes into the next available group, which will be Group B. The second team, Group C, and so on and so forth. And we apply the same logic for all the teams based on their seedings and their pairings. I hope this is making it a lot clearer, at least it seems a bit that way. With that being said, we're honored to invite the member of the Provincial Parliament for Carleton, George DeRuze.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Derouz. We will start, as I said, by drawing the seeded teams, which are the current zonal championships. We are starting in Group A with the current champion of Americas, the USA. Thank you very much. You can just leave it. Second one, please. Australia will go into Group B. Thank you. We can proceed. Spain, the European champion, goes into Group C. Thank you. And the final team, Morocco, who earlier this year won the Iwbf Africa Championship. Thank you very much. All right, we will now move to the next ball. As shown earlier, this second ball represents the countries from Europe. So in this pairing, we do have Great Britain, Italy, and Germany. Please go ahead. As a reminder, as Spain was drawn into Group C, the first team drawn from this group will be automatically allocated to Group D. Germany will go into Group D. Thank you very much. We can proceed. So with the same logic, what we'll do now is the next team that is drawn will automatically be allocated to Group A because it's the next available group. Italy will go into Group A. Thank you very much. Last European team from this pairing. Great Britain will go into Group B. Thank you very much. We're now moving on to the next pairing. That pairing consists of Japan, Iran, and I just have to look on my papers, apologies, and Brazil. We proceed. In the meantime, I explain as Morocco, as Australia is in Group B, the next available group is C, so this team will go into Group C. Japan will go into Group C. Iran will go into Group D. Thank you. And Brazil will go into Group A. Thank you very much. We're moving to the next pairing, which consists of Turkey, Netherlands, and Poland. As this is formally seen as the seeded pairing with Morocco, the next available team will go into Group A. The Netherlands go into Group A. Thank you. Turkey will go into Group B. Thank you. Final ball of the pairing. Poland will go into Group C. Thank you very much, Mr. Daruz. At this stage, similar to what we did before, we will quickly break. Before we send off Canada, let me quickly recap on where we stand in terms of the group to give all the information needed to Canada. Group A consists and is already locked up, so this is a group that Canada cannot choose because we already have 4 teams. Group A is USA, Italy, Brazil, the Netherlands. Group B is Australia, Great Britain, and Turkey. Group C is Spain, Japan, and Poland. And Group D is Morocco, Germany, and Iran. With that information, we send off Team Canada to make their choice. It's not going to be an easy one. And in the meantime, I hand over to you, Diana.
We are on pins and needles over here. I have the privilege of being with Reed Diath and a proud member of the men's senior wheelchair basketball team. You made your Paralympic debut in 2024. So what's it like for you to be preparing for the World Championships here?
World Championships, there's something different about it. You get so many different teams, high level, best in the world, all coming together. I think it's a big tournament, especially being at home. Home soil, at home, you got family, friends, the city's behind you. It's going to be something different about this one.
Yeah, I can feel it too. So we have 98 days, but who's counting? So what's that like for you? Are you noticing some emotions? Maybe tell people what's it like to be waiting to, welcome the world while you're trying to put your game face on.
Yeah, every time, I'm not counting down myself. I kind of just take it day by day, training whenever we can, when we get our tournaments or camps together as a team, we do that. But when someone says how close it's actually getting, it feels like it's jumping a lot quicker. Time's flying by. Sometimes I wish I could maybe hold on to a little bit more, but it's exciting having it coming right away.
That's really good advice, right? One day at a time, one breath at a time. Didn't mean to scare you there with the 98. So tell us a little bit more about your choice of sport. It sounds like you were quite the athlete when you were younger and had all of these different opportunities. What was it about wheelchair basketball that drew you to it?
I think it's just the aggressiveness. Between it just being hard, you can hit each other, chairs wise, or if you're pushing as hard as you can and you're sweating like crazy, working hard, all of it. Plus, it's all the community. It's kind of building a brotherhood we've had between the team, and it's something that kind of drew me towards a little bit more than other sports have.
I really appreciate that. You had shared with me, I felt so privileged before we were able to hang out, and you talked to me about some of your choices. You've gone to train and compete in other countries. What makes representing Team Canada that much more special for you?
You get to see what kind of athletes are around the world, and you also know who's coming up in your pools, even just within Canada. So being selected within that group, it's something special, knowing that you're part of that 12 that's going to make a difference.
Thank you so much, Reed. So now I'm curious, when there's younger athletes that are looking up to you and maybe to your teammates, what kind of messages would you share with them that might inspire them to try the beautiful sport of wheelchair basketball?
It can be intimidating sometimes, but once you get in it, it's pretty addicting. You don't want to get out. Every time I've had someone come out and give it a shot, people have always told me how they loved it. It was a great workout, or they got to be active, and something that they want to keep coming out to do.
So for those of us who aren't initiated into how demanding this sport is, I'm curious, maybe take us through what does a practice look like so we can be informed by, your lived experience.
Yeah, it's all going to depend on what kind of coach or what level of practice it is, but typically you're going to get a lot of basic warm-ups. We'd like to stretch before practice, keep yourself loose, prevent injuries, because those are always a pain to have to deal with. You get yourself your cardio drills, everyone's favorite thing there. You got to keep their heart rate up, all that kind of stuff. Shooting is obviously given, and then probably finish off practice with a nice scrimmage or a hard session of something that gets your heart rate up while playing basketball.
So were you being sarcastic when you said that's everyone's favorite thing? And like doing, these burpees or whatever other practices I know I don't like to do. So tell us more about, the physicality and the demands on your body.
Yeah, for me, I've always enjoyed it. It's a good way to get your heart rate up. But yeah, it's a lot of it's they call them killers or suicides. Those are pretty common ones. Or you'll do 21 sidelines, 10 end lines, stuff like that. You're doing lots of running, lots of wheeling, I guess you'd say, stuff to keep you up and into it.
So I'm sweating just listening to you. So I have a question about, you shared with me that you were injured, and I just wonder, what was it like for you what did you have to dig down, deep inside of you to be able to come back from your injury?
A lot of it's you want to get back into the sport. You don't want to sit on the sidelines watching your team play without you. You feel like you're missing out, or you want to have a piece where you can give in, have a part in it all. So biggest part is, being stuck to your rhythm and getting those exercises done, the stretching, the bands, the weights, all those things to get the injury rehabbed and ready to go. You want to be part of it again.
I so appreciate that, and I wonder, who did you rely on, as you were going through the injury? Maybe tell us a little bit more about the team behind, the team. Who are the kinds of people that you lean on when you're struggling through something?
A lot of it's our staff with Wheelchair Basketball Canada. They've been very supportive. They've been giving information on workouts or different kind of exercise I need to do. And then I got my family at home. They've been very supportive of that. They try to encourage me to keep going, not to put myself in a position where you go back too early or all that kind of stuff. Just be able to stay playing the sport.
Well, you are a wonderful young role model. I'm so thrilled that we had a chance to connect. And now the big answer. We're going to throw it back to Gabriel, and he's going to let us know what the big reveal is. You ready? Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you, Dina and Reed. Very interesting. After thorough elaboration, Canada informed me, and I'm happy to announce it on their behalf. They will be joining group number B, and apologies, group number D. Gave some shock here. D. Thank you very much. So that's the right group. And with this, Mr. Daruz, we're drawing the last two balls from the Americas. The first group that will be drawn will go into group B. Argentina will go into group B. Thank you. And for the final ball, to see we did everything correct. Colombia is going to group C. Thank you very much, Mr. Daruz. This concludes the draw of the men's competition. I think we're having exciting games ahead of us. Let me just run you one more time through the group before I hand over to Dina to conclude this draw ceremony. Group A is composed of USA, Italy, Brazil, and the Netherlands. Group B is composed of Australia, Great Britain, Turkey, and Argentina. Group C is composed of Spain, Japan, Poland, and Colombia. And Group D is composed of Morocco, Germany, Iran, and your host, Canada. Thank you very much. This concludes the draw on our end. Dina, I hand over to you. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to seeing you all in September. Until then.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Really appreciated all the science that goes behind that, and I was just grateful that I was not in Gabriel's shoes for all of that explanation. Alors, mesdames et messieurs, chers invités et athlètes, this now concludes the draw for the 2026 Iwbf Wheelchair Basketball World Championships. Encore une fois, nos très sincères félicitations. Congratulations to all 28 qualified teams. Thank you to Gabriel and Ulf and the entire IWBF team for your support for this event. Merci. Thank you so much to our national team athletes, especially Puissant and Reed, and our special guest, His Worship Mayor Sutcliffe, and MPP George Derouse for showing us how it's done. That was really special. Et enfin, nous aimerions reconnaître nos commanditaires et partenaires pour leur appui exceptionnel. We can't showcase events like these without the support of partners and sponsors. Your devotion to ensuring an equitable and accessible global sport experience demonstrates true leadership. Merci. We hope you enjoyed the draw. Best of luck to all of our teams and athletes. A reminder that the tournament launches on September 9th, featuring our Canadian men and women's team at TD Place. Tickets go on sale starting June 25th. For more information, follow us at ottawa2026.ca and on Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn for more details. We look forward to hosting the world in September for what will truly be a phenomenal event. On a hâte de vous accueillir tous en septembre. Merci à tous.